Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are all having a wonderful day and uh, are figuring out this whole coronavirus craziness and how you're going to make it still work for you and your business. There's a lot of things that are going on right now, both in the business world and the physical world. And trying to figure it all out is going to take a lot of work and a lot of time, and we'll get there. So I, in the meantime, still want to give you some of these marketing tips, especially right now, because this is the time to kind of refresh, revamp, or actually get your first one marketing strategy, put together or refined, whatever it may be for your situation. So I hope that everyone's doing well. And with that being said, I want to move into today's Facebook Live session topic, which is marketing multitasking. So if I have not met you yet, my name is Jennifer Nunez, and I run Growth Empowered Marketing Services, where I do strategies and copywriting. And I've been in marketing for over 8 years and have seen a number of different types of industries and have worked remote for a while. So this is fortunately a comfortable thing for me to do technology oriented things like this. So if you need tips on that as well, I'm happy to help with that. If you have some struggles with going live, I know a lot of video questions are out there right now too. So happy to help with that too if you have questions. Okay, let's get started on today's session of marketing multitasking. So there's a lot that you can do in marketing. I mean, everything from creating an app and putting that out there to email and social media, to press releases, to billboards, everything in between. There's so much to do with marketing. So putting it all together and making sure that you have a strategy in place that works for your business is so important. It's so important to match exactly, like I talked about in previous sessions about your brand. Make sure that your plan is in line with what you want your brand to be, whether short-term or long-term. And that when you put it together, it all makes sense for what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay. So, excuse me. So to start with, if you're just getting started with your marketing strategy, if you maybe you have it created, but you really want to implement it now, and you've got this whole list of things that you really want to get done, and it's overwhelming, you just want it to be over with. You want it to be ready. You want it to be done and working. The thing to remember is that you really want to just take one step at a time. There's so many pieces to your plan and so many things that are going to change in the future, whether short-term or long-term on that as well. It could change in a month. It could change in a year. So you want to just make sure that you're always in line with exactly what your brand is. So let's see. So all that means is just to take one step at a time. I have don't take the whole ladder. Don't walk up the whole ladder at once. You can take one step at a time and pause. Make sure that it's comfortable, that you're stable, that things are working, that something's not going to slip and fall, that the foundation's there. So just take one step at a time. So for example, if you're starting a brand new business, and I'm going to use a company that I am working with now. So they're starting a brand new business, and it's going to be an e-commerce business for household goods. So rugs, things like that, accessories, things like that. So my cat says hi. So you want to first get the strategy created and then start with what's most important. You want to create the foundations that are necessary for a new business. So for e-commerce in particular, email is going to be a highly necessary piece. It's an extremely valuable tool. So you want to make sure that email is a huge part of your strategy for an e-commerce business. On the other side, if you have a restaurant, obviously not right now, but if you have a physical location, you need to target those people nearby. And so you need to find out what those people nearby are using, whether it's Facebook. A lot of posters go up here in the Netherlands for things like events, like theater events and museum exhibits, those types of things. Those are actually physical posters. So it just depends on what your region and your neighborhood likes, or what your target audience gravitates towards. So if your target audience is on Facebook, guess where you should be. So you start out with the foundation. All that means is focus on one thing at a time. So for me, most of the people that I work with are small businesses. And the people that run small businesses are mostly on Facebook because their clients are also mostly on Facebook. Whether it's professional services or personal services like the life coach. There's a lot of people on Facebook. So that's going to be probably one of your number one places if that's where your target audience is. So start with that. Create a really nice, solid page, group, whatever it is that you may be creating. And make sure that you just build that up first and then start adding on different social media platforms, different things like that. You don't have to be on all of them all at once. That's the good news. You don't have to do everything all at once for from day one. You can build it up. You can figure out what works best for you, your business, your brand, your clients, all of that. And so you can start one thing at a time. There are a couple of things you'll want to have created around the same time, like decide on an email marketing system and start having people sign up for your emails from your website and your social media. So you want to put it on both, but you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do all the things all the time. So focus a little bit, figure out what exactly you want it to look like. Okay. So then, since you have probably got some research done for your business, you want to use that research to determine exactly what will bring you the most results up front. So not only are you going to want to make sure you keep in mind of what your brand is, what your target audience wants and where they are, but what will bring you the results. I mean, and it kind of goes in line, because if if you're on Facebook, but your target is 18 to 25-year-olds, you're going to hear crickets. You're not going to get sales. You're not going to get engagement, interaction, anything, because the 18 to 25-year-olds aren't on Facebook. They just aren't. They're on TikTok and Snapchat. They're on anything but Facebook at this point. So not only is your audience not going to be there, but you're not going to see results from that. So typically a website is one of the first things you also want to create, because that's what's going to portray your business. That's going to be your storefront. So you want to make sure that that is set up, especially with today's climate, as well as the expectations today of what people want to see of a business and feel like it's legitimate. Okay, so you start with one or two pieces, and then when those are stable, foundation is set, you start adding on a piece here, a piece there. Like then you maybe add on to Instagram, then maybe you add Twitter, whatever it may be, whatever your choices for your business are. So start one thing at a time. Okay, then you want to categorize the goals that you have. So if your goal is only sales, only focus on what's going to give you the results for sales. If your focus is on being informative, if you're a foundation or a charity or nonprofit or something, and you want to just be informative about things that are going on in the world that you want to provide that value and just gain followers and provide the information and spread the word, that's your goal. That's a different focus. You're going to want to create a strategy around your particular goal, and then based on whether you want it to be your community, if you want it to be a group and build the members, whether you want it to be user content generated. It's kind of a word of mouth style that's really useful and beneficial and popular right now, is, like influencers and wearing my content or wearing my products and sharing my content. Whatever it is, create a strategy around that and make sure it's very clear exactly what you want to be posting and why. So if your only focus is sales and you just want to post product, and that's all you're going to post about, be consistent with it. If that's what people want to see and that's what you're getting a lot of reaction for and that's what is bringing you in sales, keep doing that. Occasionally evaluate and audit whether or not it's still working, but do what is best for you and your clients. But create an editorial calendar, whatever you do decide, based on those goals, to balance out exactly what it is that you're trying to do. For example, if you want sales, but you also want the followers, because then, they tend to at least bring more eyes to your business, then you want to have a nice balance of content. And I typically recommend like an 80-20 rule of 20% salesy posts to 80% informative and value providing. Sharing blogs and sharing information, maybe even engaging questions like, what do you think about this? But create an editorial calendar for at least a month, preferably closer to 3 to 6 months if possible, so that you know what exactly you want to share and when. Then it's not so overwhelming as to all the things that you need to or want to do with your marketing. So if you have a plan, say, okay, this month I'm going to focus on Facebook and building my Facebook. Then we're going to add on Instagram, and it's going to have these topics and cover these types of posts. If you have a general idea, it helps you kind of stagger your planned incrementally. So essentially you have a foundation for one, and then you can add on to the foundation for the next ones. If that doesn't make sense, ask me, I'll try and explain it better. So then when you have the actual plan, the strategy of what you want to do first and then second, and then build up from that, then you can then stay in line with the things that will benefit your business and your brand. So this is my last point of not multitasking. And by multitasking, I just mean doing too much for no reason, really. Because if you're on 6 different social media platforms, but you're only getting engagement and, sales or likes and follows from 2 of them, are you really spending your time wisely doing those other 4? So this is my last point to this, is if you start to add those things in that benefit your business and stay in line with your brand, then you can continue what it is that you've built without getting overwhelmed. So another example for the e-commerce company I'd mentioned, the plan might be something like Instagram. That might be the first thing that you want to set up, instead of something like LinkedIn, where you're not really targeting businesses, you're targeting the consumer, the individual person. So if it's not really a business oriented kind of thing, you probably aren't on the right platform if you're on LinkedIn for these types of things. So just make sure that it makes sense, and then go to the next point. So Another example, if you have an email list of 500 people, but your Facebook, let's say Facebook is your only social media platform right now, maybe one other, and you want to build your Facebook up because you're posting things that, I don't know, specials or informative posts or blogs, updates, things like that. And you want to get more people there. Well, you have an email list. Send out the email. Say, hey, we have other really cool information on our Facebook page. Please like it, that kind of thing. Or if it's vice versa, you can post a social media post like, hey, sign up for our emails. We send some cool stuff. And that way you can always stay in front of your customers in the way they prefer. Because if you're not paying attention, they're not going to tell you. They're just not. They're not going to say, hey, this is how I will buy from you. It's just unfortunately not how things work. But if you are where they need you to be when they need you to be there, then you have a better chance of actually connecting with them on a level that makes sense to them. So I hope that makes sense on a multitasking level as far as marketing goes. There's a lot you can do, and I don't recommend doing it all, is the thing. I actually would say just to choose the few, excuse me, especially if you're a small business, you just don't have the time, the resources to do everything. So you want to be really strategic about the things that you choose to market. Excuse me, market on. So if you want to, focus on emails, then focus on emails. Make them the best damn emails you've ever sent in your life. Make them really exciting and really fun, whatever it is. But make sure that it makes sense for you and your business. So if you have a whole team of people, a designer, an email marketer, a social media marketer, you want to utilize each person in the best way possible for your brand. So, and make sure that it's cohesive. That editorial calendar that I mentioned is going to be remarkably helpful for the entire team. It's going to tell everyone what's coming, what's a new release, what's a new event, what's coming up next, and each type of marketer can work together instead of being a silo. That would also be one thing I would say for the larger businesses that have a few people in their marketing team, is really don't make it a silo. Everyone needs to work together. My strategies are always very holistic, and I try to make them cohesive and work together. So if you've got an email going out this week about your blog, do you want to post it on your Facebook also, or do you not? Do you want to wait a week? Do you want to save it for later, whatever it may be, whatever makes sense for you and your business. So if you do have questions regarding a specific type of business or industry or platform, anything like that, just message me, comment on here, whatever you like, and I will be happy to help you out in figuring out some of the nuances that that lie in all of the things that you can do with marketing. So I hope that this helps as well. If you need to get in touch with me, my brand new website is gemservices.co, GEM for Growth Empowered Marketing. And I look forward to helping you any way that I can, especially in these crazy times. And I hope to see you around. Let me know if there's anything that I can provide for you as well. So thanks so much, and I will see you next week for our very last installment of these Facebook Live Marketing Strategy series, and it will be on analyzing your data and evaluating and fixing whatever might not be working. So thanks so much, and I hope to see you next week at the same time, 1 p.m. CET, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks so much.